Forewarned weather with Ashlee Baracy.
Well, as we get you out the door on this Thursday morning, we want to make sure you're prepared for today and even into the weekend. And so don't forget the umbrella. Even though it's not wet outside right now and you might even see some sunshine after the sun rises, chances for scattered showers will develop again this afternoon before we get all of that instability out of here. So forewarning you that the second half of the day could bring you a passing shower or two, but not a complete washout. In the meantime, it's going to be breezy. So plan for brisk conditions once again, as those gusts will be around 20 miles per hour. And then it's cooler. I mean, we're still in the low 50s today, likely low 50s tomorrow before we start to slowly climb out of that by your Saturday and Sunday. But even still, we're going to be in the upper 50s by the time we get to the end of the weekend, which is seasonal. So your temperatures right now are in the 40s. We have a blanket of cloud cover, so you're not going to see a big difference from Howell towards the city of Detroit, only a few degrees, so low to mid 40s across town. Satellite radar showing how that trough's digging into the area. We have more activity on the west side of the state when it comes to the rain. We had a sprinkle or two up towards Lapeer this morning, but a lot of that has just fizzled out and it'll be mostly cloudy to start. But then we get a few breaks in the clouds as the day rolls on, before more clouds increase after about 2 or 3 o'clock. And then for the kids walking home from the bus stop this afternoon, they could be dodging a shower. So that's why I said you still want to have that umbrella if you're leaving early and not returning until later this afternoon and evening, because by 2, 3, we increase those isolated chances to more scattered chances all across southeastern Michigan. Here's an illustration of that. So 8 a.m. it looks like we get a little break in the cloud cover, but then clouds will build back in. And by 3:30, now I'm picking up a few of those showers crossing town. Most of that out of here by 8. So it's a very short window where we're contending with that. And not everybody gets that. It's a very hit or miss, but I just want to make sure you're prepared for it. So as we look at tonight, we're clearing out the clouds, which means temperatures are going to slide. 35 for the overnight low. Might have you turning the heat on. Patchy frost as you wake up tomorrow morning. Here's a closer look because we're in the 30s just around daybreak, coolest time of the day. And then 3 o'clock in the afternoon, low 50s. We have a little more cloud cover at that point, but still partly cloudy tomorrow night. 46 at 8 will likely slide back into the 30s by the time you're waking up come Saturday morning. Speaking of Saturday, night game over at Spartan Stadium, 7:30 kickoff for Michigan State. Upper 40s at kickoff, low 40s by game's end. It's going to be a cool one, but dry. And guess what? I think we're going to trend dry for Halloween. As it stands right now, we're 8 days away and model data keeping us dry across the state. And that's a change from yesterday where we had a little moisture to our north. So I'm zipping through next Friday, and that's showing you that we do have some dry conditions and probably topping out in seasonal mid-50s. We fall back in 10 days, so you get an extra hour of sleep next weekend. Tree lighting is 29 days away. Thanksgiving Day, where we'll join you Thanksgiving morning, 35 days and 63 until Christmas. Who's counting? We're in the 50s over the next 7 days, and drier weather starts Friday into early next week.
Forewarned weather with Exact Track 4D.
Thank you, Johnny. Time to get a check of the forecast.
So excited for the forecast for the weekend. That Ralph C. Wilson Centennial Park that's opening on the riverfront that's been under construction for like the last 6-7 years, finally opening with Harvest Fest this weekend, and it looks so great.
And really, it is great because remember last weekend wasn't so great for folks that had to spend any time outside.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a nice weekend to get out and try to get in those fall activities. Like, you know, it's a last weekend for a lot of farms and apple orchards because of Halloween being next week. So try
getting
to
out now. You better get out now because the roads don't look good.
Yeah, the here and now before we even get to the weekend is troublesome this morning.
Troublesome this morning. So it's going to be tough. We got a lot of accidents to talk about, but weather's not really impacting that or causing too many of them.
Right. We do have rain in the forecast today, but it's not impacting the morning commute. You might dodge a raindrop or two as you drive home from work today because the chances will be building back in throughout the afternoon and early part of the evening. Now, in the meantime, we have the cloud cover. We still have some breezy conditions, gusts up to about 20 miles per hour, and we're trending cooler today, just like yesterday, low 50s, and we'll likely be back in the low 50s tomorrow before we start to climb out of that this weekend as far as a cooler snap, but still 50s. I mean, that's what upper 50s are average this time of year. So waking up right now in the low to mid 40s all across town. And we do have some bands of rain on the west side of the state and in the northern tier of lower Michigan. You see that trough creating a disturbance across the region. But for now, we're dry. I do think our chances, though, increase after about 2 o'clock. Really, 3, 4 o'clock, they become more scattered. So 53, the afternoon high for today. And we'll have that window between about 2 and 8 where some scattered showers roll across the area. Now, winds will die down tonight. but mainly after sunset. So still about the 20-mile-per-hour wind gusts on tap. Rain chances not as widespread as what we had yesterday, but we do have the scattered chances, as mentioned in that window, of about 2 to 8. So let's illustrate that for you on the map, because by 3:30 you start to notice some of those scattered showers crossing the area, but it will be hit or miss today. So if this was to come to fruition or verify, Pontiac could be getting a shower while Metro Airport staying dry. Just one of those type of days. Pushes off to the east, and a lot of that completely clearing the area by 8 o'clock tonight. We'll clear out some of the cloud cover, which allows those temperatures to really slide tonight without the blanket of cloud cover. That radiational cooling takes us to 35 for the overnight low. All you need, mid-30s for some patchy frost to develop. So clear skies, frost likely by tomorrow morning with winds only about 5 to 10 miles per hour. We hit that low right around daybreak, so at 8 a.m. we're still sitting in the mid-30s. But then once we get into the mid-afternoon, low 50s, we'll have more clouds increasing as the day rolls on. Then 46 by 8 o'clock at night with a break or two in the clouds. If you're heading out to the big rivalry game at Spartan Stadium on Saturday, we haven't changed this forecast much. It's been consistently dry but cool, with it being a night game. That 7:30 kickoff, upper 40s, low 40s by game's end, and will be probably low 50s for tailgating ahead of that. Halloween countdown 8 days away, and we do have a little change in the model data, which could continue to change over the next 8 days. But as of right now, this is next Friday. It looks like we are trending dry across lower Michigan for now. And so we could have a dry Halloween, and what has been consistent, the temperatures next week, likely mid to upper 50s. So we'll take it. We are going to stay in the 50s over the next 7 days. Average high this time of year would be upper 50s, and we get into that seasonal territory by Sunday and Monday. If you're heading out to the Detroit Pistons game, either at the end of the weekend or for your Monday, grabbing a bite to eat in downtown Detroit, you're not dodging rain. But by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, those rain chances build back into the forecast. Oh, all that was missing was the scene from Home Alone where Kevin's carrying the grocery bags and all of it falls out. Like, that would have just been.
Where were you? We couldn't use you with that idea. By the way,
Please.
kudos to our photographer, Ben Bell. He's a genius when it comes to all this. And trust me, if you laughed at a lot of those moments, a lot of those were his ideas. So.
Yes, you guys are a great team, especially with these gas station gourmets, because you've done it before. You've showed us some other places, but this is just like next level.
I know, makes me want to make the haul.
Like, it's
out
a destination
there.
place, for sure.
Here's a little behind the scenes. So since we started doing Gas Station Gourmet, we get emails about different places.
Okay.
Alex has come up consistently right from the beginning, and I was like, all right, we'll get to that place. And before we even did this story, it was already on my radar, and I had a birthday party. We're going to a concert at Pine Knob. This is right around the corner. So we went there for dinner, and I went, okay. And I didn't even see the bowling alley that night or the golf.
You didn't even know that was there.
And I was already like, this food is amazing. We're coming back here to do Gas Station Gourmet.
There you go.
So it's been on the
So
radar.
one-stop shop for anything you can come up with.
I'm telling you, they have some Italian bread, like garlic bread, Italian bread they make that was so good. They had queso that was all homemade. Very, very
Okay, we're growling all morning.
I know, right? I'm just like, you're killing us.
And one of my favorite parts about the story too is that this family, opened this up and wanted to be over the top in honor of their son who passed away. Yeah, Alex.
Very sweet.
It meant a lot
Very
to 'em.
touching. Yeah.
All right, well, in today's
Well,
Yeah.
a third. How about 110% say we need more paid time
But
off?
not using it in a year. I mean, unless you're waiting until December to use it over the holidays. But you need some time off now and then just to recharge.
Healthy.
Think of how many places are short-staffed, though. And so, people are probably picking up extra shifts, and then when they take a day off, it might be a comp day for, working that day, and you just can't get to your bank of
Exactly.
time.
Yeah.
And I wonder
or
if
get on
there's-
top of your workload.
Right.
You just need that overtime because you can't afford to take it. But 80% have that paid time off, so it's there for you.
But then if you have such a huge workload, sometimes you're like, I'd rather work than be swamped with work after that. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Take your time off, though.
Take that time off. You need it. You
David
deserve
didn't
it.
take his time off. He's ready.
Yes, he is.
With your Hollywood Minute. Okay, that Eddie Murphy documentary, that looks good.
That's not going to get past 2 days before I watch that.
Oh,
one.
yeah. You just look at like his body of work.
I know it.
Man, oh man,
Sometimes
you
I like to
forgot
save
some of
them,
those.
space them out. You're like, okay, still got the John Candy documentary to watch. We can save it. But Eddie
Yeah,
Murphy, that's going to be
immediate,
top of the
for
list,
sure.
Yeah. Local 4 Live starts in about 8 minutes here. Coming up, we're having our own debate. The candidates for the Pontiac mayor joining us in studio to share their views on some of the major issues, plus a big boost for northern Michigan following that historic ice storm earlier in the year. They got a bunch of money from the state legislature. How can the DNR, obviously they can't prevent it, but new ways to deal with things. And the Hudson's implosion. That building came down in 1998 on this day in history.
Wow.
But we're going to watch the whole thing. Who doesn't love watching a good implosion, right?